guys, I'm Powered Up Mike, and just gonna be doing a little chat with some Tetris 99. You know, let's see how this goes. Oh, no more Metroid theme. I'm just gonna have to lower the music so no dudes. Yeah. We're gonna go with the new Metroid Dread theme. Hopefully that won't get me copyrighted. Because the last time... I'm pretty sure those guys who copyrighted me didn't even own the song at all. They just might have made a remix and they claimed it. Which is just pretty sad, but it's like, I don't know what happened. To me, just watching Tetris 99, like, people just talking, it's been, like, calming and therapeutic, and I'm like, you know what, I might as well just give it a try. Besides, when I go back to school, I'll have videos to upload. I did consider doing a Fall Guys video, but the download was gonna take an absurd amount of time, and I'm like, no, just no. No. Like, over an hour, I'm like, I can't do that. I couldn't. That's not to say I wouldn't want to do it in the future, but... what else is there for me to talk about in my small world? It's just not much, it's just standard procedure of everything. But I mean, I think I said this before, the original Metroid must have been so majestic. With its all, no map, have fun! An empty and unknown mysterious world. And probably the biggest surprise twist ending in gaming history up to that point. Maybe still, or maybe it still is the biggest surprise. This series does deserve more love. Although I will admit it's kind of hard to get into if you ask me. Because, you know, for what it's worth, it's like, you know, you really gotta pour your time into it. Pour your time into the game, and I'll just try one more match. Who knows, maybe I could make a little mini-series on this. Tetris 99 Ramblings. You know what, that's what I should call this. What else is on my mind? I mean, one of the other things I have been wanting to do more of course, is practice more DDR. It's like, but it's just not the same when you practice on a keyboard compared to practicing on a pad, and honestly, who knows how much time I have left with my old soft pad. I wonder... I wouldn't call myself an expert at Tetris, but it is what it is. But earlier, before I fully got into recording this little video, it's like I was trying to see if there was like an option to like lower the game audio, and I couldn't find it. Unless it's obvious and I missed it. But this theme is pretty nice. It's a nice change of pace than the generic, you know, Tetris. Doot 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 doot. What else? You know, another thing I wanted to... Thinking about with Metroid, it's like... Even though it's like, you know, it's another sad case with Nintendo's series. In Japan, it's like... It's become, like, less of a popular series than it is in the US, from what I remember hearing, because it's like the whole space and shooting thing isn't as popular in Japan, and well, I guess that's demographics for you. And I think that's why, you know, all the Metroid Prime games came out much later in Japan than they did in the US. Well, actually, not just US, everywhere else. And it's like, you know, when Chaga Conroy did his, you know, Nintendo of America rant in Woolly World, it's like, he did point out a really compelling point with, like, how Nintendo of America isn't, you know, the sharpest with some decisions. But at the same time, it's like, sometimes Nintendo Japan messes up big time. And speaking of messing up, I think my time's about up. If only I could... Well, that was that. I have time for one more. Complete 10 Tetris clears. Tetris line clears in battle. I mean, like, the whole space theme and void that Metroid Dread has, it's like... It just feels more aesthetically pleasing compared to default Tetris 99. Do. You know, the iconic Tetris theme. And I found out recently that I actually don't share a birthday with the creator of Tetris. Alexei Pajitnov. I think that's how you pronounce it. Yeah, I don't share a birthday with him, and I'm like... Let's do this. That worked out somewhat nicely. Let's do pop in. But, you know, come to think of it, like, if things went just a little bit differently with me and YouTube, I really don't know if I would be here. Because it's like... So I remember, like, during the tail end of New Super Mario Bros. Wii, I thought, like, YouTube was, like, getting too stressful. Yeah, go figure. It's like, I need to quit. And, like... And if I wonder, like, if I actually did follow through, but it's like, I wonder what things would have been like. Especially more so if I, you know... tried again years later. If I made a new channel. I wonder what things, like, you know, it would have been... Sometimes I can't help but wonder. Ooh, there's another boom for you. Oh yeah, here's a story. I don't know if I'll ever be able to get to come up organically in a video, but one time when I was at my buddy Yo-Yo's house, like, something or someone caused a mess in the basement, and what popped out of my mouth was, looks like an explosion went kaboom in here. He's like, did you just say it looks like an explosion went kaboom in here? I'm like, oh, yeah. And if you're watching this, do you remember that story? But as I think everyone in my friend group has already established, I kind of remember a lot and everything. Maybe not everything, but you know what I mean. Oh, the game's getting tough, so we gotta get game. Ooh, we made it to the final 50. That's always a little small goal of mine. Well, it is what it is. I'm sorry, it's too fun to just ramble on and play Tetris. The game got tough, so we gotta get game. Now that doesn't make any sense, right? But I remember in 2nd grade, this one girl had like an athletic shirt on that said, when the game gets tough, get game. Nobody knew what it meant, and we asked her, and not even she knew what it meant, and I'm like... Okay. I really should stream this, but it's like... I don't know when I'm gonna. Don't ask. I couldn't tell ya. My dad was watching this, he would get that. He would know who I'm referencing. Family friend of ours. Something she once said. I couldn't tell ya. But you know, with the things people say when they're relatable, you can't help but repeat them. It's just the way it is. The way the ball bounces. But you know, maybe it's nice that I'm able to enjoy, you know, Tetris 99, like, right now, as it's active, because, you know, with an online game, there's a sad cycle with online games, where it's like, after a while, the inevitable, okay, the game's shutting down, thanks for playing! And unless there's a strong and brave enough group of people to revive the game, it's just gone for good. But of course, what I think should be... Oops, I didn't mean to do that. What should be mentioned, I guess, a little more with, like, game revivals and things, the fact that it's, like, sometimes not everything's so perfect and smooth. Like with Whizball, back when I played that about a year ago, like... Thing is, I wouldn't necessarily say that game was revived in a perfect and nice and smooth way. Because it still has some bugs. But I think the worst bug is not having a proper saving feature, in the sense that all your progress is just wiped. Yeah, you don't log in with a password. It's locked to whatever browser you're using. So if something on your browser were to be wiped, so would your account be. That explains the 3 or so accounts I have there. I would still basically play the game if I still had access to my account, but when I lost it, I'm like, yep, I'm just gonna retire from Whizball. No, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't want to do that. What a meh ending, but it's fun rambling. It's fun to talk.